Hi, it's G here with another simple lesson for teachers and students. Something to think about over the next 24 hours. Let this thought rattle around your inner mind and see what the result is. So, today's simple lesson is about the phases of life. It should be subtitled, I wish someone had told me. Because I realized this a little bit late on in the game. Not too late, but it was definitely the last few minutes of the game when I understood that there were preset stages that we all go through that are opportunities for choice and chance. What does this mean? Well, the first stage is the formative years stage. This is 0 to 5, 5 to 8, and 8 to 12. This is where we go through brain development, physical development, and social development. And this is the first phase. I know it's quite controversial, but beyond the age of 12, we do not develop that many more skills. We just tend to use what we have. Some of the things we have, we don't even know we have, right? So, that's the first phase. The second phase is 12 to 25. This is extended childhood. This is where we used to work in the past. We used to have apprenticeships. We used to gain skills under skilled masters. But it's an elongated period of childhood now where we need to get experiences, but very often we don't get the experiences that we need. It was a time when we began work, but now we don't. Now, one of the reasons for this is there are not enough jobs in society. Think about what that means for yourself. Let's move on. The third phase is aged, and they're all based around ages. They're all based around ages. So that's something to unify everyone when they think of these elements of stages. In the Western world, they are fixed like this. The third phase is age 25 to 30. This is the welcome to the real world phase. This is where you leave a lot of your studies behind, and the key point is you have to find a job. You have to find work during that period of time. You have to find a place that you feel you belong in. So, that's the third phase. The fourth phase, and I'm going to give you a bit more detail on these, but I'm going to go through the phases quickly. The fourth phase is 30 to 35. This is where you get married. It's where you find a house. It's where you choose your place to live. It's where you get a mortgage, and it's when you should begin to have kids, if you haven't already done that already in your life. And then the fifth phase is age 35 to 40. This is your last chance. This is the last chance to get any of the things done that you want to get done in the developmental phase of your life, because things are going to move on beyond that. And this is the first half of your life, and all of the things have to be organized in this way. Phase 1, the developmental years of 0 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 12. These are brain development phases. Phase 2, this is the extended childhood, and remember these are related to the Western world. Phase 3 is welcome to the real world. Let's The extended childhood, is 12 to 25. The welcome to the real world is 25 to 30. The phase 4, get everything in order, is 30 to 35, and your last chance is 35 to 40. The second part of life, I'm not there really yet, so I can't tell you what's going to come. But let's add a bit more details to these phases. So phase 1, the formative years. These are where the brain develops pathways, where the brain develops connections, where the brain grows and extends. Now, if you're not a well-developed child, you're not going to be a well-developed adult. If you don't get the nutrition you need when you're younger, you're not going to be big and strong when you're older. And you can't get that time back, so this time is really important. It's a phase of personal habits. You develop your likes and your dislikes. You develop your understandings of the world, often through patterns provided by your parents or your caregivers. It's where you find your place, you develop your ideas, and you build your dreams. And that's overall 0 to 12, with 3 development phases in that. Or stages. Okay, let's call the main parts phases and the internal parts stages. So phase 2, the extended childhood phase, is explore. Explore the world, explore your hobbies, explore your interests, play sports, develop friendships, understand personal relationships, push borders and boundaries. Find out what your own limits are. If you don't push yourself to the limit, you won't know where the limit is. So that's important in that stage and phase. Phase 3, welcome to the real world. That's 25 to 30. That's work, provide value, extend your training, improve your skills, switch jobs if you need to, plan your career, find a company to work for, or start your own company. Get a bit of experience and then start your own company. Now, you can do all of that sooner than that, but this is what I would say in the Western world is the ideal phase to do those things. Of course, there's nothing wrong with starting earlier. Start sooner. Those who are first in have an advantage with a lot of things in life. Same with those who are first out. So phase 4, 30 to 35, these are ages, so settle down time. Make definitive choices in your life. Fix your core values, decide what your moral perspective is, develop some ethical ideas. Remember the difference between morals and ethics. Morals are foundational, never change. Ethics are cultural, situational, environmental. They can alter over time. That's why governments like to focus on ethics rather than morals. And maybe you want to develop a set of religious values or spiritual beliefs at this point in time as well. It's a time of less flexibility, where you have to make lines in the sand for your choices. It's also a time when you begin to understand that your time is no longer your time. Because if it's going to be a time when kids are born and you're responsible for them, well, your time goes bye-bye. That's it. Finished. Yeah, you need to set aside some time for yourself, but that's less important than the time you give to your kids. Phase 5, 35 to 40, is if you want to change something, this is your last chance. This is the last chance to change something during the developmental stages of your life. It's a time to fine-tune the details. It's a time to consider things like long-term goals, pension plans, a chance to refresh your skills. It's a time when you change from one who experiences life to one who can share their experiences. You begin that transition, and then maybe you begin to understand what it means to share your experiences. I'm also developing a philosophy at the moment that there's no such thing as teaching, and there's just different phases of learning, and people who know more than other people and can share the more that they've learned. A true learner, if they want to share, really never stops learning and developing, because if you stop learning, that's it, it's over, it's the end. So these phases, the 5 phases, 0 to 12 with 3 stages within it, 0 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 12. The second phase, 12 to 25. The third phase, 25 to 30. The fourth phase, 30 to 35. And the fifth phase, 35 to 40, are a map. If you can achieve what you need to achieve within those stages, be ready for the transition from one stage to the next stage, you'll be in general okay, because this is the scientific design of the Western world at the moment. There will be more changes to come, there'll be more phases to come, but these are important, like destination points. They're like little stops on the journey of life. They're not the end point, of course, but they're points to check as you go through to make sure that you're on the right road. And as I said at the beginning, I wish someone had told me, because that would have made making a plan for life just a little bit easier. But you can learn a lot when you find things out for yourself as well. And who knows, maybe if someone had tried to tell me, I wouldn't have listened. That's the way it goes. Anyway, that's a simple lesson for today. Remember, simple lessons, we try to keep them simple. And that's it. Wherever you are, hope you have a good day. Give me some feedback if you like.